Another beautiful morning in the forest. It's cold and windy, so I'm not so sure how much of the wind noise will disturb my speaking. But if you know anything about the outdoors, cold, sort of okay, but when the wind comes in, it really bites into your bones. Especially if you wear wool like I do today. I mean, if you're interested a little bit about the outdoor part, not really in scope of what I'm doing, but I can gladly make a video about the equipment that I'm using on myself, like merino wool, usual wool. Let me know. So, personal and transpersonal sorrow. I make a video about this more painful part of our existence that is really related to sorrow, which is usually related to loss. Now, one could argue when we have the unity of being and all beings are united, what is there as sorrow to feel? And there are sayings, and especially of the proto-Taoist parts of Lao Tzu. I think they have been created later as allegorical stories, where there's a story that Lao Tzu's wife has died and the villagers are like curious and accusing him, "Hey Lao Tzu, you are in joy, you don't cry, you are not in sorrow for your wife. What's wrong with you? Have you ever loved her?" And Lao Tzu argues like, "Well, what are you talking about? We never separated." What the point here is this transpersonal part of sorrow as such, where, you know, if everything has a unity of being, then there is no end and no start, and there is always a connection, and the individual then is a part of the whole universe. You are a conscious part of the whole universe. So obviously, from a mystical perspective, this is absolutely right. So why then am I talking about a personal sorrow if, basically there is no time as we perceive it in the unity of being? Well, that's because there is a personal dimension, and the unity of being isn't something that you continuously experience. If you do, please leave a comment. I'm really curious about that. But on a more humane level, it's about, you have a personality, and there is a personal experience and personal way of experiencing the universe. And in this personal experience, you have personal connections and you have personal feelings. Even if the mystical way is universal, it doesn't mean that everybody on the path who reached the point of unity experiences the same. There is a personal touch to it. There is a similarity, but similarity is not the same. And as a person, if you love, and that's, if you look at my channel, a lot of what I'm talking about is this deep love, where you transcend yourself so much that you don't even realize or recognize or even care where you start and where you end. You are deeply in love. Now, this deep love brings with it this huge dissolve in the beloved, not just in the sense of universe like beloved, like we could have with Ibn Arabi's mysticism, but as well as a person, to a being. It doesn't need to be a person, it can be a being. And within that, obviously, a loss will trigger sorrow. And I argue there's nothing bad about sorrow. Sorrow is a depth, very authentic feeling. You definitely feel very, very painfully alive during sorrow, and it is sad. It's the bottom. As much as you can understand the unity of being, as much as you can understand that there is no definite start and definite end, it will not change the tears in your heart and in your eyes when you lose the beloved. And I think this personal sorrow is an important way of our human path. It's an important thing that defines the human, and as such, it's a very valuable experience. I mean, it is thoroughly sad, but in a sad sense, very beautiful. And I think it's really important to live it true, to embrace it, to go into the depth of the dark, of the sorrow, and yeah, let the heart, maybe even the eyes cry if you feel like it, because without sorrow, what would we see in the world? How would we cherish the happy moments if there wouldn't be the complementary yin to the yang, the darkness, the deeps, the depths, the sorrowful, the crying? How would we cherish the beautiful love and smiles? And I think this is a really important perspective to have, especially in very, very sad times. And I want to say that even on the transpersonal level, even if there is this unity of being that you may or may not experience, and I hope and I wish for everybody that you do, it doesn't take away the personal. It shouldn't. And I decided to make another video on monasteries because, you know, there are some crippling institutions that will try to take away this personal part to make you resistant to any sorrow, and then they see it as an achievement. I don't see it as an achievement. I think the achievement is you fall in love to a being, you love a being, you lose it, you feel sorrow, you feel the pain, and you find that this is a path of a natural development. It's easy said when you're deeply in a sorrow and you know you lose the perception on time and everything sounds and looks dark, but I think it's an importantly human experience, and I think it's an experience to embrace.